English is not as hard as we have made it. And why I'm saying these things? What is the reason behind saying these things? Because, when you actually go to speak in English, the first and the most important things that hit your mind while speaking that, am I speaking right? Or what if people make mistake? What if people find out mistake while speaking? And thinking all these kind of things, you stop yourself. I know if you're a beginner, you have gone through it. I have gone through it, and I can totally take the guarantee of it that if you will watch this video till the end, you will not be the same as you were before. Why I'm saying these things? Because today in this video I'm going to give you the practical way to improve your English, right? And what's that ways? The ways are: practice of your English, start having communications with yourself. If you are alone, then you need to congratulate yourself, because yes, this is what I did. Whenever I used to get any kind of opportunity to talk with the people, I used to refuse, because being an introvert, I hate talking with the other person. I don't know why, what's the reason behind it, but I don't like to talk to the people. Now you would say that, why are you faking, like, why are you saying like this? You are talking to the people, like you are talking in front of the camera, and this is not an introvert things that you are doing right now. I can totally understand these things, because I started doing it because I had nobody around me listen to me, and that's why I choose this way, right? And it doesn't mean like, I don't want to talk to the people. I want, but the main problem is start when I actually get involved in any kind of conversations. I don't understand what topic I should talk on, what kind of things I should I should share in a conversations or in a group, right? I don't understand, because I'm an introvert, right? I'm a taciturn. I don't like to talk to the people too much, right? So, and that is the main reason, some and most of the times I choose to be quiet, and especially those places where it was really important to raise my voice, but I chosen to be quiet because I was an introvert. And sometime, and the one big problem that a TC turn face, that whenever they were in a conversations or in an argument, they would never get any kind of good words. And later they will say that, why did not I say this word at the time? I think I should say this word, or I should reply to that person this way or that way. I don't know why our mind doesn't work when you actually needed a good reply to the other person, right? So this is because I'm an introvert, and totally I'm accepting it, right? And I this is something I should not assume on, because of course, I have grown up like this, and that is the only reason I had a few friends, but right now I don't have a single friend, right? And that is the only reason I love to talking to myself, because yes, I have become a best friend of myself. I Whatever I want to share with the other person, I come and start sharing those things to myself. That's it, right? Yes, and that's something which helped me a lot to improve my English. The second, problems that I was facing at the time, like I had a fear of being judged by the other person, that what if they find out the mistakes while speaking, they will make fun of me. And just because of having this fear, I stopped approaching the other person, right? Sometime I got opportunity, sometime I was offered some kind of partnership to talk with the other girls, but I refused. I totally refused, because I didn't want to talk or work with someone who backbite you when you're not present at that time, right? They used to make fun of the other person. Then what if they make fun of me, and that is the only reason I took myself away from that situation, right? So because I didn't want to get involved in that kind of situations, right? So choosing yourself over the other person was the best decisions I ever make in my life, right? And that helped me a lot. I'm recording the video right now, but I'm seeing myself in the mirror because the mirror is just in front of me. And whatever things that I want to share with myself, I just come up here, stand, and start sharing those things. Now when you are hearing these things, you will feel like this is a very awkward things, and how could anyone talk to themselves, seeing themselves in the mirror. But these things has become very normal for me because I have been doing it from a very long time, and it has become my habit, right? So, and there is nothing wrong with talking to yourself. And what if people see you doing these things, they will call you mad. They will say that you have lost your mind, you are talking to yourself, or it could be the result of some black magic, right? But it work if you will talk to yourself, right? Because don't think about the making a mistakes, don't think about the fumble, don't think about the fear of being judged by the other person. you know things can be fixed by the time, right? And you can bring a lot of corrections in your speaking with time. So the first things and the most important things that you should focus on is practice of your English, because when you practice, I got tired of saying the same thing again and again in my videos, that when you practice of your English, your mouth muscles, your tongue, your throat will get trained to produce the word, right? And if you don't do these actions, then how would you be able to speak clearly, right? So you need to make your mouth able to produce the word, and it will happen only when you practice of your English every single day. I would not suggest you to practice of your English on alternate day. No, that will not work. Sometimes I have seen a lot of people, they practice 2 or 3 hours in a day, and the next day they take rest and they start speaking after that day, right? This is not the right way to practice of your English, right? You have to practice of your English every single day. If your day is very busy and you don't have enough time, somehow you just have to manage, and you need to just have a 5 minutes in your busy day, right? Just give a 5 minute to yourself, improving yourself, right? And you know and if you are saying that you don't have a 5 minutes for your self improvement, then I don't have any words to say these things, right? I you know How can anyone not have a 5 minute for themselves, right? You need to put yourself on your first priority. You should be on the first options in your priority list, right? We are very busy to make other people happy. We cook for the we are very busy to do others work. We cook for the for our families, but when it come to ourselves, we always put ourselves after everything. No, this should be not happen. Because self love is most important, and important than anything, right? Self love, because learning a language or doing the things that you love the most should be on the first priority, right? Whatever things that you do, right? I totally appreciate that you do your work very well, but what about your self love? You are improving your English because you love improving yourself, right? You are working to be better, you are working to make to be the best version of yourself, right? So you need to be at first priority, right? Other thing can be secondary, but you should be on the first priority list on yourself, right? Just practice of your English. And I'm thinking to come with some interesting topic, like structures that we can use to make various sentences. So definitely I'm thinking on it, and I will come with that topic soon. Bye, take care of yourself.